What? What? Where am I? Why am I in a bedrock box? Oh wait, this is an escape room, isn't it? Well, I guess this is what every escape room YouTuber means when they say their friend trapped them. Wait, but who would trap me? Forget it, I need to use my brain power on this escape room. Okay. Play the music. I started out in a room with a dispenser right in front of me, so I opened it and there was a stack of steak. Well, it's good to know that I won't starve to death. Then I looked to the sides of the room and there were holes in the walls that acted as windows. Then I looked up and saw a hopper with a crawl space underneath. Inside the hopper was a dirt and a door. What could I do with a dirt and a door? I used them to pillar up, but it wasn't much use since I still needed to get into crawl. But that's when I realized that I could, and, couldn't. I had no clue of what to do. Well, I ran around the room while brainstorming what I was gonna do. Eventually, I did end up thinking of a solution. If I could get one more block, I could use the door to do the relog clip glitch to clip into the hopper and crawl through. The problem was getting the extra block of height. Then it happened. I took damage, hunger damage. I could use damage boosting to get that extra block. Time to get to work. I immediately started trying to damage boost myself up, but then I remembered that damage boosting is actually much easier with lower FPS. So I did just that, lowered my FPS from unlimited to 10. Then right after that, surprisingly, I pulled it off. Then I clipped into the door, relogged, and crawled into the next room. I tried conserving the door, but RNG was not on my side. I entered the next room and saw a grindstone. There was a weird sort of hole underneath the grindstone that I wanted to investigate, but I couldn't get a proper view. So I used F5, which let me look into the hole and see a sign I wasn't able to see normally. It had something written on it, and with the power of Quake Pro, I could read what the sign said. It said, "Get something down there to continue." I had no idea what the sign was talking about, but I assumed down there referred to something in the hole. I continued to use F5 to check for whatever the sign was talking about. It took me a bit of messing around, but I made it. Yup. Just a bit. Just a little bit. There we go. I saw a sliver of a hole, and it totally didn't take me like 3 minutes to figure out that I needed to sprint to see the hole. So I had to get something into that hole somehow. We already know where, when, and why. Now we need to figure out what and how. I'm not asking who. I backed out and realized that there was just a massive hole in the ceiling right above the water. There was also a crawl space in there. Then I went to the room on the side and there was a hopper with 2 grass blocks and a pointed drip stone. I had to get up a 4-block ledge, but those items were not enough to get up. I immediately thought of hunger damage boosting, but I noticed that I was emitting particles. So I checked my inventory and lo and behold, I had saturation. Well, there goes that trick for the rest of the escape room. My next thought was to try and conserve a dirt by breaking the dirt and placing the other dirt above it, so if I got lucky enough it would phase into the block and up to me. This did not work in the slightest, but I did learn something valuable because of it. Wait, did I just open the hopper in the air? I decided to experiment by pillaring up 2 blocks and seeing if I could reach the hoppers, and I could. So I should be able to break the dirt and get it from the hopper below. And I could. Then I did it again. The next time I did it I couldn't reach the hoppers, so I placed the drip stone. But it wasn't enough to scale the wall. Then I realized that I was taking damage whenever I jumped on the drip stone. So I turned my FPS down to 10 and tried damage boosting. But I noticed that I wasn't even getting remotely close. And then I had an idea. What if instead of artificially creating lag, as in lowering my FPS, I manually caused lag? I didn't know how to do that, so I had to think. Lag usually occurs when there's too much of something like entities, but what could I load a lot of? My weird phrasing caught my attention and I got the answer: chunks. I needed to increase my render and simulation distance, so I did that, then held the spacebar and W while my game was frozen for a sec. Then I assume I made it and ran across the ledge and into the hoppers on the other side. I reset my render and simulation distance and looked inside the hopper. There was a piece of red sand, but it was doing something before I grabbed it, so I tossed it back in and it was like flickering between being in and out of the hopper. Anyways, I definitely got the sand first try like I did earlier and used the same hopper trick to get it back over the ledge. Then I went back to the room with the grindstone and did some thinking. I know there's a hole directly underneath the grindstone that I have to get something into, but how does sand help me with that? Sure, it's a gravity block, but that means that I'd have to place it under the grindstone, which I can't do. I tried looking for anything that I missed with F5 and found nothing. While doing that, I had an idea. I would soon find out that it wasn't a very good one, but it led me in the right path. Stake. I had saturation, which meant that stake was useless to me. So maybe if I threw it just right, then it would go through the open gap of the grindstone and fall down into the hole. This didn't work because when I missed one, the next stake would go to the first one because of item grouping. I tried to make them item group closer to me so I could pick them up, but that didn't work. I was contemplating using the sand to remove the stake from the gap, but decided against that since I would block off the hole I needed to get something down to. Then I noticed something. I could see a sliver of the bottom of one of the grindstone's legs. It was facing down, which gave me an idea. The idea worked and the sand went into the hole. That triggered a dropper which gave me a trident with Riptide 1 on it. Well, that explains the water. Before shooting myself into the next room, I tried getting into the grindstone hole to maybe get my sand back or even gain an extra sign. This didn't work, so I gave up and went into the next room. The next room had a pretty big ledge and some hoppers in the ground. There wasn't anything in the hoppers, not even a light gray stained glass pane as a cheap trick. But speaking of tricks, I had one that I could reuse. So I did the same thing I did in the previous room and scaled the ledge. Wait, what? I didn't even change my render or simulation distance. Did I not reset them last time? Why is my video settings menu all messed up? Odd, is that part of the escape room? Whatever. There was another ledge and 2 corridors in opposite directions, so I went to the one on the right. Hold on, let me turn off hitboxes. Wait, what? It was working just a second ago. Whatever. The tunnel led to a blocked off room with an armor stand and a hole. After further inspection, there was also a sticky piston that would push a slime block, presumably when the target block next to it was shot. There was also a dropper with random stuff like a fishing rod and sand. Well, I knew that I could use the fishing rod to pull the armor stand over to the slime launcher thingy, except the armor stand wasn't moved forwards enough. Also, when I rodded the armor stand, its hitbox seemingly updated to fit with me turning off hitboxes. I thought for a bit as to how I'd get the armor stand forward, and I came up with a risky solution. I would sprint punch the armor stand forward, but before it falls into the pit I'll pull it back, and maybe that will leave it forward enough to slide in front of the slime launcher. After failing a few times, I got the timing down and pulled it off successfully. Then I used the fishing rod to slowly pull the armor stand over so it would fall into the hole. But there was still one problem: how would I activate the slime launcher? I tried making the fishing rod land on it and lightly shooting arrows to just barely get through the one block gap to land on the target block, but neither worked. I checked to see if the arrows got close, but the one that got closest barely even got over the edge, so I gave up on that strategy. Hold on, I just realized I have captions on. I'm gonna turn those off. Anyways, I gave up on this room, so I went back to see if I could do anything. What can I do? I have sand, but I can't exactly use that to pillar up this ledge. Can I fishing rod the dirt? Where did this? Okay, no. This is actually freaking me out. Is someone watching me? Am I being messed with? All of this stuff can't just be a coincidence. I have to escape now. The room I walked into had a weird blocked off contraption that had a pressure plate leading into a dropper. I assume I need to activate the pressure plate. After a bit I realized that the pressure plate was a light-weighted pressure plate. The way these work is that for every entity that is on it, it outputs one level of signal strength. The redstone line was clearly longer than one dust long, it's 4, so I needed to get 4 entities on it. I started organizing my inventory into things that could be an entity to put on there. I could cast the fishing rod above the wall and onto the pressure plate. I can't throw the trident since it has riptide. Can I shoot an arrow onto it? Oh. Wait, what? Items count toward the weight? Well, that's useful. If I drop the sand on it, then it'll break and turn into an item which will fall onto the pressure plate, right? Yes. Back on the arrow thing, I gotta see something. When I shoot an arrow, its hitbox sticks into the wall a bit. If I shoot it here, it should stick out onto the pressure plate. Yep, it does. Now I have my 4 things, I just have to combine them. After I put the other 3 things on the pressure plate, the dropper activated and dispensed an iron door. I got all my stuff back and returned to the main room. There I used my sand and iron door to scale the ledge. I made sure to put the sand first so I could get the iron door back if needed. I mined the 2 dirt blocks at the top and went into the next room. Okay, never mind. The next room had a 4-block ledge and I only had access to 2 blocks. It also looked like there was an exit on the top of the ledge. But I wanted to make sure it was an exit and not blocked off by barriers or something. I tried using F3 and F5 to see if there were barriers, but neither seemed to work. I'll assume there's barriers so I don't get caught off guard and possibly fail the escape room. That's a problem for future me, but a problem for present me is, how am I getting up there in the first place? Oh cool, I found the solution. There's a lectern in an item frame along with a glass block and an iron bar. I almost broke the glass, but then I realized that it was probably there for a purpose and that I most likely couldn't break the item frame from here. So I decided to analyze the situation a bit more. I could probably replace the door with the 2 dirt and get it up here, but what would that do? Wait, there's a face of the iron bar facing the item frame. I think I know what to do. Remember the grindstone from earlier? Maybe I could do something similar with the iron bar. If I place the door on the face that's facing the item frame, the door should clip into it, and when item frames are clipped into something, they break, dropping both the item frame and the item it was holding. So I plan to do just that. I brought the sand and the door up by realizing that I could use the staircase thingy as an extra block. Then I used the sand to reach the iron bar and place the door. Let's see if this works. And it did, and luckily the items fell through the holes in the iron bar instead of on it. I got the iron door back by breaking the glass it was on. I decided to swap out the sand and iron door for the dirt since I thought that dirt would be more useful for future rooms. Then I realized that I had to use the dirt to scale up anyways, and I made it up the ledge. On the ledge there was a chest with a netherite block. Wait, what? No way, there's no barrier. I'm trapped in the world. I decided to use a random small structure with a pressure plate block my head. I had a very great idea. I so please play test your escape. Wait, what? Why is he? I remember now. Wait. What? Who are you? How did you just give me my memory back? Wait. Wait. Are you the one who took it from me? Why?
Look, there's a lot to explain. Just come with me, it's not safe here.
No. No. I am not doing this. I'm not doing any of this information keeping crap. Just tell me what the hell is going on. What did you do to me? Why can't I remember anything from before that recording session?
Memory errors were defective. Alright, answer your question now, come on.
I'm not going anywhere until you answer all of my questions. What do you even mean by memory arrows? Why did you even take my memory to begin with?
The only reason why I took it was because I was hired, and the rest is a long story, okay? I'll explain when we're safe.
Wait. What the? How old are you? Based on your voice you can't be that old.
I work as a Minecraft hitman, what did you expect?
Okay, that's fair. But wait, how did you even find me? I don't even know how I got here in the first place.
Version anomalies, menu tampering, along with a myriad of random phenomena you seem to be emitting. Come on, let's go.
Was that
Oh crap, okay, we've run out of time. Can't explain much right now, but a piece of advice: don't let him kill you.
Wait, what? Hey. What do you mean? Who's coming to kill me? What?
Got him.
Nope, 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 nope. Okay, what do I do? How do I get out of here? Who even is that? What is even? Why is this happening to me? I was just recording a video. What did that? Okay, I need to focus up right now. How am I escaping? Okay, the original exit isn't an option anymore, but is there anywhere else with an exit or even an opening? There's windows at the start, okay. I just have to get there.
Of course there weren't any spare kids today.
It's already been like a minute. I need to reset his progress.
Nope, not doing that.
I think that gave me around 4 minutes. Okay, in order to get back to the first room, I have to get through that crawl space. I do have a gravity block, but I don't know how I'm getting into crawl.
Okay, just 2 minutes.
Where'd my saturation go? Wait, I already tried that. Wait, what? Hold on, if breaking the dirt and immediately replacing it with the dripstone does that, then I might be able to get into crawl. Now I just need to conserve these blocks, bro. Huh? Oh gosh. I need to block this off. Wait, oh crap.
Ugh, come on.
Okay, what do I do? Without the water, I can't use the trident to get into crawl, and this room isn't tall enough for me to do the same crawl trick as earlier. I might be able to use the chute though. Guess not. Wait, hold on, the room to the side is tall enough, right? Let's go. Just a few more blocks. Wait, what? Oh no, why did I do that? Crap. Okay, I think the sand is more valuable than the dirt, so I'll get the dirt and place it in the hole to get the sand back. Oh, can I? Come on, it's already been like a minute since that guy got inside. I don't think I have the time to redo everything. Okay, I still have a block, but no sand. I probably should have redone the crawl setup.
Where did this guy go? What even is this place?
Okay, I can make this work. My spawn must be set in here, right? So if I block it off and die, then I'll spawn outside of the escape room. And that guy said I can't let him kill me, he didn't say I couldn't die. So if I just... Okay, that's where my spawn point is.
There you are.
Okay, I just need to die. Don't exactly know what that does, but I'll just focus on dying. What? How did that not work? What am I supposed to do? I don't know of any other way. What? What is that? No, I can't, I'm not doing that. What am I saying? It's just dripstone, there's nothing I should be. What the hell? What is this? Why is it so terrifying? Oh gosh, I have to do this.
Wait, what?
What? Wow, it's been a while. This video has been in the works for almost 2 years. I'll try to keep some of the talking for the extras video, but I have 2 announcements. Announcement 1, I plan on making this a series, and the production of episodes 2 and 3 are the biggest deciders of if I can actually bring this thing to life. This will take a large amount of work from me, but ultimately, my biggest obstacle will be having enough people willing to commit to this, so if anybody is interested, and we know each other, please, feel free to hit me up on Discord or similar. And announcement 2, as the channel grows alongside my ambition, I've started to take this channel a bit more seriously, but that being said, that doesn't mean I've lost interest in the original reason of why I created this channel. I made this channel so I could have a space to do whatever goofy or stupid things I want, but I realized that the channel looks a lot better and organized if the good videos aren't being buried within 3 layers of slop. This is why I'm creating a second channel, Some Guy's Landfill. Go here for whatever stuff I decide to do. Thank you for watching, and I'm very excited and hopeful for what comes next for us.